Yesterday, the Prime Minister completed 4,078 days and became the second longest serving Prime Minister continuously in office after Jawaharlal Nehru ji. And in a way, this morning when I read that the latest international survey has again shown the Prime Minister as the most popular leader in the world, it only goes to vindicate that the work that he is doing in the interest of the nation, in the interest of the people of India, and the global acceptability and reputation that he has earned, the trust that he has earned across the world. 27 global honors being given to one leader is by itself a record. It shows that the world today recognizes and respects India, and the free trade agreement between India and UK, the Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, clearly reflects the growing relevance and importance of India at the world stage. And it also shows that more and more countries, including and particularly the developed world, is today appreciating that India is the future. The business opportunities with India are the best. The goods and services that India provides to the world have high quality and cost competitiveness, and the demographic dividend, the young aspirational Indian working in the rule of law, a democracy, fastest growing large economy in the world, decisive leadership, and the demand that a fast growing middle class and growing incomes of our people generate make for India becoming the preferred global partner. The Honorable Prime Minister of United Kingdom also said that this is the most important free trade agreement that the UK is entering into post-Brexit. In fact, this is a very comprehensive agreement having 30 chapters. I don't recall any other FTA has 30 chapters. And a very wide span of subjects are covered. So much so that without compromising our interests at all, we have been able to come to terms on even issues like gender, environment, on IPR, intellectual property rights, and there's some misconstrued notions that some of you have carried, which I'm happy to address. We have protected all the sectors of India's sensitivity vis-a-vis UK. Every country, you have different sectors which are sensitive. There's no one size fits all. So dairy, for example, we have not opened for UK. Rice and sugar, we have not opened for UK. So specific areas of concern where we do not wish to give access, we have been able to protect so that there is absolutely no area for concern for India in this FTA, whereas we have got 99% plus access, preferential access, in most cases zero duty access for the exports that we do to the United Kingdom. So zero compromise, extensive benefit. It makes for a phenomenal free trade agreement. a historic agreement which will not only support export of goods and services, but will also bring a stable, predictable, and secure framework in which India can become a trusted partner for UK's supply chains, encouraging more investments into India. India can become a partner of UK for technology, innovation, and in some sense, it'll open the doors to the developed world for India. I'm sure most of you have already noticed that unlike the UPA, the Congress-led UPA, which used to do agreements with countries like the ASEAN region, who are our direct competitors, who did not open their market as much as India opened the market for their goods. The Modi government has done FTAs with developed nations like Mauritius, Australia, UAE, the four-nation EFTA, Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland. Now with UK, we are in negotiations at an advanced stage with Oman, almost finalized, with the European Union and USA making fast progress, with Peru and Chile, countries which do not threaten India as a competitor, but actually complement our own strengths. The global stature that today India enjoys, the global trust that we enjoy, has helped us to protect our sensitive sectors and open markets to textiles, footwear, leather, jewelry, gem and jewelry, marine products, agri products, medicines, all areas of our interest which generate lakhs and lakhs of jobs, where our share as a part of the UK import is today very minuscule. In fact, I was just reading up that take a simple area like textiles. UK's import on textiles is about $30 billion. And their duty rates are up to 12% for different products. 30 billion is their import. We often used to complain, the textile industry used to say Bangladesh gets an edge. Being an LDC, they are able to export at zero duty. So we are unable to compete with Bangladesh. We are unable to compete with Vietnam, because that was going zero duty. And therefore our textile export to UK was only 1.73 billion out of that 30 billion. That is about 5.5%. Now we'll also be at zero duty. So imagine the huge delta of opportunity that has opened up for our textile sector. Leather footwear is even more interesting. Leather and footwear sector, leather products and footwear. Duties are up to 16%. So we only had $500 million of export in a $10 billion market. Imagine the huge potential. Our mochis and our Kolhapuri chappals will benefit significantly with this zero duty on all footwear, all leather products that go to UK. Gem and jewelry, their import is about $80 billion. They had duties of about up to 4%. But in gem and jewelry, you all know, even 4% is a huge duty because value add itself is small. Now we'll have zero duty access. So we can grow from half a billion, which we do out of 80 billion today, to sky's the limit. On marine products, I have many other products in my list and large imports. In mechanical machinery, we pay up to 8% duty, therefore we only export 1 billion out of 77 billion imports in UK. Like that, I can give you about plastic, rubber, 22 billion imports, plastic and rubber goods. And our share is only 300 million. 22 billion, 300 million. That's 1.5%. But look at marine products. They import about 2.73 billion. Our share was only 120 million. So much potential we were losing because for 25 years we could not come to terms with them. And they gave up on India around 15 years ago, 14 years, 12 years ago. They stopped negotiating despite having started in 2004-5 or thereabouts, or 2-3 the discussion started. They gave up and they stopped the negotiations. It is only after Prime Minister Modi was able to generate enough confidence that yes, India will do an FTA with advanced and developed economies with whom we used to shy away in the past, that we launched again, I think, end of 21, started negotiations in 22. Unfortunately, 24, they had an election, we had an election, so we had a hiatus. And then we relaunched in October 24. And in less than 7-8 months, we finalized the whole agreement. That's the speed with which Prime Minister Modi's government functions. Processed foods, our export is only 200 million. Their imports are 34 billion. So we are what, 0.5% nearly of what they are importing. So why should Haldiram and Bikaner and the likes? And India is a very cost competitive and very attractive manufacturer of processed foods. This will help our farmers also. And I think sky is the limit in terms of the potential for furniture, for sports goods, for animal products like meat, vegetables, fruits, spices will all go zero duty, another big area of India's interest. All in all, an agreement which can help us to grow our current exports dramatically. Our current exports are probably about 15 billion or so, 15-16 billion dollars. But UK imports are nearly 750 billion dollars plus. So that is the delta of opportunity that India is going to work on. And I can clearly see that every state in the country stands to benefit. Whether it's Pashmina from Jammu and Kashmir or Bhagalpuri silk from Bihar, whether it's the pharma industry from Telangana, Maharashtra and Gujarat, or the auto component industry in Pune, Tamil Nadu or Haryana. In fact, there's a huge breakthrough also in terms of joint education programs. The advantage with an FTA, it's a signal, it's a demonstration of mutual trust and friendship. And because of this FTA and the National Education Policy 2020 opening the doors to international universities, we already have 6 UK universities who are opening India campuses. This will provide our youth joint degrees. They won't have to spend lakhs of rupees to study abroad. They can get a UK degree studying in India, or maybe spend 3, 4, 6 months in UK and spend 2 years here, get a joint degree at less than half or 1/4 the price. And the biggest benefit that this free trade agreement provides is to the services sector. The services sector had a big problem because they were sending their employees to serve in UK for 2 years, 3 years, short durations. And during that period, nearly 25% of the employees' income was being paid into the National Security Program, their pension program. But because these people did not stay for 10 years, which was a minimum required to get the benefits of pension, the money they were paying was lost. So argument's sake, I think anybody working in UK would be earning at least £5,000, an ICT, a technology guy, or an engineer, or a software guy. At the least would be earning £5,000. I know people earning 100,000 and 200,000 pounds also, who are required to go to serve the IT sector or business processes or consulting. But even if we take the lowest case, at 60,000 pounds a year, they had to pay 12.5% out of that to Social Security, and the employer had to pay 12.5%. So net 25% was lost and never gave any benefit to those employees. And I'm told there's nearly 100,000 Indians who have gone as intercorporate transferees and are working in different jobs on behalf of Indian companies or UK companies which invite them. So even at low 60,000 pound earning, they were losing 15,000 pounds, which is about 18 lakh rupees per year. So if somebody went for 3 years, you can imagine what loss he was doing. And 90% of the people go for short term, 2 years, 3 years. Now they can pay that same amount in the Provident Fund account in India. So it becomes their saving. It is not money lost. And that will become their pension or their security for the future. It will also earn them over 8% tax-free interest in their Provident Fund account. So they don't have to pay anything extra. The saving which that will happen because of the double contribution convention agreement, same amount they'll pay instead of UK, they'll pay in India. It's a level playing field now. Just like the UK employees can get pension, our people will pay in India and get pension or security in India. So it's level playing field. Even for UK, it's fair that the money should not be lost for people who are serving to help the UK economy. It's a win-win for both. And I've always said an agreement can only work when it's a win-win for both countries. And there can be no better example than the UK-India partnership, where we can support them in highly labor-intensive products at competitive prices of high quality, which will help the consumers of UK in a big way, which will save them from inflation and high costs, and which will provide lakhs of Indians jobs in India, which will provide a benefit to so many different sectors, which will further strengthen our education partnership, our technology and innovation partnership, our financial services partnership. And as the Honorable Prime Minister said, it will ease doing business, it will reduce cost of doing business, improve quality of products that we make in India, and increase the confidence of doing business between UK and India. A game changer in every aspect, a holistic, comprehensive trade agreement, which is going to be an important stepping stone to many more agreements with other advanced economies, which sets the benchmark of high quality FTAs that India will be doing in the future, adding to India's credibility, confidence, and competence. That, friends, is the India UK FTA in a summary. Thank you.
Blueprint for the other deals that we are currently signing or working with other countries on, and the kind of messaging that it sends out to those countries?
I have always consistently held that every agreement stands on its own feet, and every agreement is negotiated based on circumstances in each country. And the effort is that our Indian industry gets preferential access over our competition. And I think this can become a gold standard to ensure that India protects sensitive sectors and opens the doors, particularly in areas where it's highly labor intensive, in competition with our other competitors in other countries, and allows high quality goods of technology and other products to come to India. If you will see, most of our FTAs are with countries where they don't compete with us on anything. I mean, UAE FTA, they send dates to India. That's not a competition because we don't have enough dates made in India. Australia competes with India in nothing. We complement each other. With the UK also, they'll be sending us, for example, products which we don't have enough in India, or wherever we felt that there was very sensitive advantage that the UK wanted, we respected their sensitivity. But in every respect, this is an agreement which opens far greater opportunities for India than any other agreement in the past.
Yes, Kirtika.
So, Kirtika from the Economic Times.
Closer, mic closer, please.
Kirtika from the Economic Times. So, how many MRAs are we looking at in professional services?
Well, we've not opened any discussions on legal services. So legal services has been kept out of this agreement. In other areas, as many professions as discussed with their regulatory counterparts. Every profession in India has a regulatory counterpart in UK. So chartered accountants, for example, already have a regulatory framework in which they work with UK, and they are making good benefit out of it. There's a huge chapter of Indian chartered accountants, not only in London but in many parts of England. And probably everywhere I go in the world, I'm always received by chartered accountants from India in large numbers, not small. So I think each individual profession can choose, architects can choose if they want to do a regulatory bridge with the UK. There is no compulsion on any regulator. They have to work amongst themselves.
Yes, please. Surabhi, yes.
Hello, sir. This is Surbi from Business Today. Sir, just wanted to understand that in terms of operationalizing of the FTA, sir, what kind of a timeline can we expect?
India cabinet has already approved, so we are ready to operationalize. UK, the process goes through parliament. But since most of the FTA was finalized when the other party, the Conservative Party, was in government, and the current party has not changed anything. They have continued whatever was finalized has been taken forward. I think there will be bipartisan support. So whatever the time it takes for them in parliament, it could be a few months, it could be up to a year, I don't know. It's more a thing that the UK will have to sort out.
Deepshika.
So this is Deepshika from the Economic Times. So how soon are we expecting to conclude the investment part of the agreement?
A little louder.
What do you mean by that?
The investment, a separate investment agreement?
I wouldn't know. You'll have to ask the concerned department that.
राजीव जी, दैनिक जागरण।
सर राजीव, दैनिक जागरण से। सर मेरा सवाल है कि अभी हमारे लिए एग्री में बहुत बड़ा मार्केट खुलने जा रहा है, एग्री एक्सपोर्ट के लिए किसान को बहुत फ़ायदा होगा। बट सर हमारा एग्री एक्सपोर्ट काफ़ी कम है अभी वहाँ, चूँकि यूरोप में हमेशा क्वालिटी कंट्रोल को लेकर काफ़ी बातें होती रहती हैं, और यूरोप में राइस पे पहले भी सवाल उठते रहे हैं, और हमारे कई ऐसे एग्री प्रोडक्ट्स हैं। तो ये चूँकि अगर हम ब्रिटेन में अपने एग्री एक्सपोर्ट को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो क्वालिटी पे खास ध्यान देना पड़ेगा। तो इसके लिए हमारी क्या तैयारी है? ये चूँकि तभी
इससे आज की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में इंडस्ट्री सेक्रेटरी भी बैठे हैं। हमारी चेष्टा है, और आप लोग सब जानते भी हैं, कि क्वालिटी के ऊपर विशेष भारत ध्यान दे। तो हमने क्वालिटी कंट्रोल ऑर्डर्स भी अलग अलग चीज़ों पे इसी हेतु से लगाए हैं कि भारत का माइंडसेट, मानसिक सोच अब क्वालिटी के प्रति ज़्यादा मेहनत करने की बननी चाहिए। तो मुझे खुशी है कि कई सेक्टर्स में लोगों ने अब सामने से आके बोलना शुरू किया है कि भाई हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स पे क्वालिटी कंट्रोल ऑर्डर लगाओ, नहीं तो या तो भारत में कुछ लोग बड़ी कचरा क्वालिटी बनाते हैं, या विदेश से कुछ लोग कचरा क्वालिटी इंपोर्ट करके भारत की मार्केट को खराब करते हैं। हमारी इच्छा है कि भारत में एक ही क्वालिटी बिके और वो अच्छी क्वालिटी बिके। मैंने कई बार आप लोगों को उदाहरण भी दिया है कि एक ज़माना था कुछ वर्षों पहले तक, जब मार्केट में कोई जाता था तो बोलता था भैया एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी का माल दिखाना, और वो उसी समय पे ज़्यादा था जब जो व्यक्ति ये वर्ड भैया यूज करता है उनकी सरकारें चला करती थी। लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने आते ही 2014 में एक संदेश दिया देश को, जीरो डिफेक्ट जीरो इफेक्ट। और तभी से हम भारत में एक मुहिम चला रहे हैं कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी हो, पर्यावरण हो, उसके प्रति भी हमें बहुत संवेदनशील रहना है, और गुणवत्ता हमारे भारत की सेवाओं की और भारत के वस्तुओं की जो भी हम प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वर्ल्ड क्लास होनी चाहिए। जैसे आप नोटिस करते हैं कि अभी सरकार के खुद के ऑफिसेस, अब सामने आपने तीनों बिल्डिंग देखी होंगी, बन गई है सेंट्रल सेक्रेटेरिएट की। ये बिल्डिंग में तो आप कई वर्षों से आ रहे हैं। अब पूरी सरकारी तंत्र, सरकारी ऑफिसेस भी इस पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट के साथ हाई क्वालिटी ऑफिसेस में फंक्शन कर रहे हैं। ये मोदी जी की सोच है। पार्लियामेंट देखिए, अब अपने खुद का हमारा एक मॉडर्न पार्लियामेंट है जो देखने देश विदेश से लोग आते हैं। नॉर्थ ब्लॉक, साउथ ब्लॉक में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा म्यूजियम की कल्पना कर रहे हैं, और पुरानी बिल्डिंगों का काम वैसे वही होना चाहिए। तो अब भारत की सोच बदल रही है। आप गुरुग्राम जाओ, आप मुंबई में आके देखो, आप बेंगलुरु में जाके देखिए, हैदराबाद में जाके देखिए, जो आज क्वालिटी हमारे सर्विस सेक्टर ने दिखाई है, और उस क्वालिटी के हिसाब से आज दुनिया भर में हमारा वर्चस्व है। सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्ट्स 380 बिलियन क्रॉस कर गए लास्ट ईयर, राइट? $380 बिलियन। तो 12% ग्रोथ था लास्ट ईयर। तो क्वालिटी हम लाएंगे तो ये सब चीज़ें, टेक्सटाइल, लेदर, फुटवेयर, जेम एंड ज्वेलरी, इन सब में अपार संभावनाएं हैं। No more questions?
दीपक मंडल जी।
Sir, this is Deepak Mandal from New Indian Express. Sir, as you said,
दीपक मंडल, न्यू इंडियन एक्सप्रेस।
हाँ,
so as you said that many sensitive sectors have been kept out of the purview of this FTA. So, are we going to treat these sectors in a similar way?
are we going to?
Treat these sectors in similar manner with other ongoing negotiations?
Maybe you've come to cover my press for the first time.
No, sir.
You've come before? Because I have often repeated, and I said it today also, I think. Every free trade agreement stands on its own legs, has its own dynamics, and has its own sensitivities, defensive and offensive interests. For example, take automobiles. There was a time we couldn't do free trade agreements with many countries because we just kept thinking we should not open the automobile market at all. Correct? And उस चक्कर में FTA नहीं कर पाए. And my own thinking is we have lost so much opportunity and lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of jobs, maybe crores of jobs for the lost opportunities because we just kept a closed mind. But look how intelligently we have opened the automobile in this agreement. Have you all gone into it with detail? So for internal combustion engine cars, that is petrol and diesel cars, we are going to open over 10 years, gradually increase the quota from a small number, I'll just give you the number, to a maximum of 37,000 after 10 years. After 10 years, India will be selling maybe 1 crore vehicles at least. आज भी 50 लाख बेचते हैं तो 10 साल बाद 1.5 करोड़ होनी चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से, जिस तरीके से आमदनियां बढ़ रही हैं. उसमें 37,000 व्हीकल्स पेट्रोल की 10 साल बाद 10% ड्यूटी पे आएगी शायद. या फर्स्ट ईयर में 10,000 कोटा दिए, आस्ते आस्ते बढ़ते बढ़ते 5वें साल में 19,000 हो जाएगा इन कार्स विच आर मोर देन 3,000 cc. Cars from 1,500 to 3,000 cc petrol and 2,500 डीजल एंड 3,000 सीसी पेट्रोल, ये चार्ट आपको दे देंगे. उसमें 5,000 कार्स और टोटल कोटा 20,000 कार, और वो बढ़ते बढ़ते मैक्सिमम होता है 37,000 कार्स 5वें साल में, नॉट 10th, 5वें साल में. 6ठे साल से हमने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का थोड़ा थोड़ा कोटा देना शुरू किया, और जितना इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल कोटा दे रहे हैं उतना पेट्रोल का कम कर रहे हैं, पेट्रोल डीजल. So at no point of time we are giving a concessional duty quota more than 37,000. तो 16वें साल में 15 साल के बाद 15,000 गाड़ियां पेट्रोल डीजल और 22,000 गाड़ियां इलेक्ट्रिक. 15 साल बाद. That's the maximum quota we are giving at concessional duty. और उसमें भी देखिए हमारी समझदारी. इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स में 22,000 में 20,000 का कोटा 80,000 पाउंड से महंगी गाड़ी हो गए. 80,000 पाउंड की गाड़ी यानी 1 करोड़ रुपए की CIF वैल्यू की गाड़ी. तो 1 करोड़ रुपए की CIF वैल्यू की गाड़ी जब भारत आएगी उस पर 10% ड्यूटी लगेगी, तो 1 करोड़ 10 लाख हो गई. फिर यहाँ पे लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट, मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट, सर्विसिंग कॉस्ट, सब कॉस्ट लगेंगे. तो जो 20,000 का कोटा दिया है वो लगभग ऐसी गाड़ियों पे जो 1.5 करोड़ रुपए की यहाँ बेचनी पड़ेगी, जिससे हमारे लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को कोई रत्ती भर भी उनको इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा. वैसे तो मेरा तो मानना है थोड़ी स्पर्धा अच्छी होती है, क्योंकि 140 करोड़ कंज्यूमर्स भी है ना. 140 करोड़ कंज्यूमर्स का भी तो किसी ने सोचना पड़ेगा. एक ज़माना था हमारे पास ऑप्शन सिर्फ फिएट और एम्बेसडर थे, उसके बाद ऑप्शन हो गया मारुति और 2-3 और कंपनी. थोड़ा हमने भी ओपन माइंड से सोचना पड़ेगा. 140 करोड़ कंज्यूमर की भी चिंता करनी पड़ेगी. पर ये चार्ट हिंदू को जरूर दे देना भैया, सो दैट वो ठीक से कवर करे. हिंदू ने कुछ प्रश्न नहीं पूछा, सरप्राइजिंग.
Sharad, is he there?
You have no question at all? Any concern? I wish you had clarified that question that you have written about processed foods, because I was so amazed कि इंडिया में चॉकलेट्स आएंगी यूके से तो शुगर की प्रॉब्लम होगी, समथिंग लाइक दैट, एम आई राइट? तो मतलब वो तो एफएसएसएआई का काम है, जो भी हार्मफुल चीजें हम भारत में आने ही नहीं देते हैं, और जो भारत में बिकती है उसमें कंज्यूमर को चॉइस मिले तो उसमें क्या बुरा है? तो मैं पढ़ के मैं खुश हुआ कि पूरे यूके एफटीए में कुछ और मिला ही नहीं क्रिटिसाइज करने को, एक्सेप्ट कि चॉकलेट्स अब भारत में आएंगी या प्रोसेस्ड फूड्स कुछ भारत में आएंगे. बट आई विश यू हैड क्लैरिफाइड इट विद मी. Any other question? Most welcome. I'm happy to
Sir,
answer.
Reuters is having a question. He's
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
this
most
way.
welcome. Reuters can also ask me.
Thank you, sir. Manoj Kumar.
I addressed Reuters in London also. By
Yes,
the way.
sir. We had an interview. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, in your statement and in the papers, so you have described nearly 99% of our exports will be
get preferential access. Yes.
access. So, sir, wanted to understand from you, and now Secretary sir is also here. So, we have elaborated the many sectors like textile, furniture, footwear, etc. So, which could be the number one? Which could be the major companies, in your sense,
अरे वो तो stock market sensitive information पूछ
No,
रहा
sir. Secondly, sir, if you permit, sir. So, sir, sometimes the issue of cost comparative advantage has been. We have addressed the issue of tariffs, but there may be some other issues on the cost comparative advantage.
Our doors are open. If you have any suggestions or if any industry has any issue on cost competitiveness, our doors are open. We are happy to address those issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced, Nirmala ji announced in the budget, the National Manufacturing Mission that is going to specifically take up such issues where cost competitiveness needs to be improved. Our doors are open and we'll work with industry to make our manufacturing more cost competitive.
And if you permit to ask a supplementary question.
Most welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, even in the budget, so there was a proposal of nearly to remove this agriculture cess on number of commodities, which
I'm not aware of what proposals were there, but I wouldn't know much about the budget. That you'll have to ask finance.
Thank you, sir.
So there are more questions.
Yeah,
Sir,
sure.
Siddharth.
I wanted to prod some more questions. That's why I raised that issue. I have nothing against a particular paper, but I was glad that they raised that issue. तो उससे मेरा माइंड एकदम क्लियर हो गया कि और कुछ आपको मिला ही नहीं पूरे एग्रीमेंट में.
Sir, I have a question. So what were the reasons that, what are the reasons currently that our trade with the UK is so low? It is 1.9% odd, both export and imports. And while we've set a target of doubling it by 2030, what is the kind of share of, UK imports are we looking at? Has there some analysis been done?
According to me, the sky is the limit even in the future. In the past, I have observed that these developed countries, by and large, used to keep a higher import duty on labor-intensive products. My observation after studying the various countries' tariff schedule, they kept higher duty on labor-intensive products so that they could give preferential access to whichever country they had good relations with. And now India comes into that bracket with UK. So with the duty of, and I read out the duty, these are high duties, textile at up to 12%. You don't have that much margin in that industry. In transport, auto parts, up to 18%. You don't have that much margin. So when these duties all become zero, we become very, very much more cost competitive. So I've requested Industry Secretary to be here because and I'm going to meet every sector. You are welcome to come and join us in the next few weeks. Every day I'll be meeting one sector to discuss with them what you asked me, sir, about their own ability to compete, to scale up, to expand capacity. So far, the mindset has been more domestic. Our industry has looked at a large and fast-growing domestic market and have been satisfying the domestic market. Now we want industry to grow by leaps and bounds, which is why we have even changed the definition of MSME to allow a little faster growth even of the MSMEs. Even though fortunately in the MSME definition, export turnover is not counted. So it opens the doors to MSMEs in a very big way to capture this opportunity. And Commerce Ministry is soon coming out with some new ideas also. For example, we are going to, like we are doing the warehouse Bharat Mart in UAE, we are going to look at other countries where we can support warehousing of Indian goods. We're going to look at other measures to brand the quality of India's products worldwide. So Commerce Ministry is now focusing its attention on marketing and taking our Indian manufacturers to the advanced and developed countries. Yes.
Amity.
Hi, sir. Amity from Business Line. So given the fact that the UK FTA is opening up this big opportunity.
Hand mic दे दीजिए.
So this India-UK FTA, it is opening up this big market for our industry, especially for the labor-intensive sectors. So given the fact that some of the past FTAs, the utilization has been low. So for this FTA in particular, would we look at some hand-holding measures or something
Yes,
for its better
absolutely.
utilization?
And that is why my Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has already instructed me to talk to specific industry segments where we become far more competitive now. And I'll be having sectoral meetings with every sector till Parliament goes on when I can't leave Delhi. And after that, we're going to all the states to, for example, share with the Bhagalpuri silk people of Bihar the new opportunities that have opened up, or to share with Jammu Kashmir Pashmina shawl manufacturers or silk manufacturers or kesar producers. Simultaneously go to Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu to talk to the fishermen about the opportunities that this opens up for them, Gujarat, Maharashtra also. Simultaneously go to the tech centers of high-tech city in Hyderabad or Whitefield in Bengaluru or Pune, Mumbai, Gurugram in Haryana, that how the double contribution convention will help them to expand their services export. So we'll be certainly sensitizing the sectors to get the best out of this FTA, start making contacts. I've already discussed with the mission there and with my counterpart minister to come with a UK delegation of business persons. We will be sending many more delegations from India sectorally and connecting them with businesses in UK and preparing the groundwork in the next few months while their parliamentary approval process is going on, so that we can start leveraging the FTA as soon as it is operationalized. Thank you.
Hand held back दे दीजिए.
Sir, thank you for doing this on a Saturday. So, and congratulations.
Thank you for coming on a Saturday.
And congratulations on a big milestone, sir. If you could give us a little bit of a steer on your next big milestone, and by that I mean the US FTA, sir.
Every agreement has its own dynamics. We are in very, very advanced stage of discussion with Oman, EU and USA. We are also discussing FTA with New Zealand, which should take a few months, an FTA with Chile, Peru. So we are quite busy right now on many FTAs simultaneously, and each one is getting its requisite attention so that we can expand frontiers of India's international trade in goods and services. We can create a trust between developed nations and India so that FDI flows can grow and create a bridge for greater innovation and technology participation with the advanced nations. So work is going on all of these FTAs at a fast pace and in the right direction.
Yes, please give
Thank
the mic
you.
to the gentleman. Sir, there are a couple more questions.
Hello.
Yeah, you start.
Okay. Hi, sir. My name is Ashish from Kyodo News, Japanese news agency. So congratulations first of all on this India-UK CETA. And this is regarding the marine export, seafood export. So right now, how will ministry address the issue of cash crunch and working capital constraint faced by exporters?
That you'll have to address to the fisheries ministry, sir. As far as any fishery direct related to the fishery sector is concerned, in terms of export credit, I have not heard from the fisheries sector, and I'm regularly in touch with their people through MPDA, that there is any banking credit crunch.
So they have applied for 30% of their capital for the soft loan, 30% of the working capital. But
it's a matter for the banks and them to finalize. The government cannot direct banks to. I'm sure you will appreciate that in the last 11 years, the Modi government has by and large allowed the banks to function based on their assessment, risk assessment, and the prevailing situation. Nobody gives directions on any one sector or the other. So I'll ask the MPDA to give me more details. I'm not aware of this 30% soft loan request. But if it is so, we will take it up with finance and check if it is a genuine request. We'll request the banking sector to look at it sympathetically.
thank you, sir.
But anybody else who has any inputs, please ask the sectors to give it to us. Our doors are open. And thank you for raising this issue. We'll certainly address this issue also.
So just a supplement question on India-Japan. There's an annual bilateral summit will take place this year. And just to help the seafood sector, are there any ongoing negotiations with Japan to increase the Indian seafood export from India?
We have a very robust dialogue with Japan. I'm not aware whether there's any discussion, particularly on fisheries. Nothing has been brought to my attention. But if the if the Organization of Seafood Exporters gives us some details, Seafood Exporters Association, SCAI or something, SCAI.
We already have FTA with Japan.
Yeah, we have an FTA, but whether they are having any problems there, they have to raise it with us.
Thank you.
Actually, Japan, Korea, these ASEAN FTAs which were done during UPA time have not resulted in any significant benefit for the country. We have tried a lot to try and discuss and renegotiate, but there are issues which I am very concerned about, and I am in continuous dialogue with my counterparts to resolve those issues.
Yes, please, a question from...
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Kriti from Informist Media. Sir, if you could help us understand what kind of clauses or riders do we have in the FTA framework for a future situation where, UK decides to, impose a non-tariff barrier. In that sort of situation, do we have clauses
Madam,
in the...
सीधा पूछ सकते हो, CBAM के बारे में पूछना है कि और भी कुछ है?
So,
you can ask straight away, no problem.
So if you could address that,
Yeah, I'll address
if
that.
in the future UK also decides to put that.
As of now, there is no CBAM. And therefore, it's a hypothetical future which we cannot address in an agreement that we are entering into today. But we are a sovereign and a very powerful nation today. So if anybody hurts our export interest, we will react and hurt and retaliate or rebalance to make sure that our interest is not hurt. So I can assure everybody that no unilateral measures which hurt India will go away without a proportionate response from India. Having said that, about CBAM, even in Europe, there's a lot of rethink. In fact, when I go to different countries in Europe and I criticize CBAM, all the industry players, CEOs of very large companies come up to me and thank me. As some of my colleagues here are witness to that. They come up and thank me. They say, you speak like you were our minister. And there's a lot of opposition to CBAM in EU also. In fact, EU's infrastructure will become costlier. EU's housing will become costlier. EU's cost of manufacturing will become costlier, which will hurt their international trade. So in some sense, the sufferer will not be India. The sufferer will be industry and business in EU, which may actually open up more doors and opportunities for India, given our high quality and cost competitiveness in many other markets of the world. So we will convert every challenge into an opportunity. That is the Modi style of function. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Deep Shikha needs a second question. Yes, please.
इतना अच्छा एफटीए करने के बाद आपको जो पूछना है पूछ सकते हैं और सब माइंड में है.
So, with some of our past FTAs, we faced issues with regard to review when we attempt to. So, in the newer FTAs or even the UK FTA that we are signing and the others that we are negotiating, are we making adequate tweaks to the FTA, to the provisions to ensure that we don't face such issues?
We have already kept a clause for a review after 5 years. And you are right, there will always be an issue about review because it has to be a two-way agreement. So while we have that clause of 5-year review, it doesn't guarantee that you will get whatever you want at the end of 5 years. At the same time, they may have some issues. They also don't have the guarantee. So if there are enough issues on both sides, then you're able to set off. Remember, agreements have to be fair and balanced. It has to be a win-win two ways. It can never be a one-way agreement. So review we've kept in 5 years. Anything else? Yeah.
Sir, Adarsh from All India Radio, Akashvani. As you mentioned that in these FTAs and the proposed FTAs, India is looking to complement and supplement. So in the upcoming FTAs, especially with the US and New Zealand and Oman, are there any sectors that India is very eager to collaborate on?
There are many sectors where India can contribute significantly to those nations' own economies. And that is why we are trying to enter into these FTAs. But this is a signal of friendship, a signal of trust. It gives confidence to businesses and investors on both sides. So, for example, with the Western world or with the advanced countries, developed countries of America and Europe, we want to do technology partnerships in a big way, where our talent and our young STEM graduates, we produce the highest number of STEM graduates in the world, 2.3 million, 23 lakh STEM graduates come out of India every year, the highest in the world. 43% of them are girls. So that's our strength today. And without that strength, I think world's technology advancements will slow down. Because we know every corporation in the world today has Indians powering their technology advancements. Take the best of countries. And they are Indians who are doing the design, the back-end work, the technology, the innovation. Now with this 1 lakh crore innovation fund, which Prime Minister Modi approved in the cabinet, I have said it earlier, but at the cost of repetition, because you are mainly business journalists, you will understand it better. 1 lakh crore, when government gives support, effectively it can result into 8 lakh, 10 lakh crores of innovation and R&D. Because cost of R&D in India is 1/6 or 1/10 of what it costs in Switzerland or America. So that same R&D, if they were to do, let's say for a pharma product in Switzerland, they would have to spend 10 times more. Their per capita income is $1,03,000. Our per capita income is $2,500. So when they do it in India, they can do it much better. And therefore, having an IPR chapter, intellectual property rights chapter, both with UK and with Switzerland, is a huge achievement for India. People always thought India will be a pariah in terms of IPR. And because of that, a lot of innovation, R&D work was not happening in India. They were going to other countries to register patents. Now, without compromising on evergreening, that was our biggest fear. We have not compromised. We will not allow any evergreening. And still, we have a robust IPR chapter with two of the most difficult countries of the world. Switzerland and UK were the most tough on IPR issues. And we have a chapter with both those countries. It's a big, big signal of India emerging out of the shadows and sitting on the high table with developed countries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think one more hand has gone up. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, sir. This is Shweta Goswami from Money Control. With regards to the trade agreement and even beyond, going beyond that, we have this India-UK 2035 vision that was talked about. Could you throw some light on how this trade agreement would in some way help India in the critical mineral sector and clean tech, renewable energy sector?
This was specifically discussed even day before yesterday. And it's an area of mutual concern and mutual interest. After the ban on permanent magnets, the whole world has woken up to the reality that concentration of certain geographies in their supply chains can be harmful and can suffer consequences in case of any unilateral action. Therefore, UK and India are now looking at working together, both for collaborating on processing and refining of rare earths and making finished products together, innovation on that score. And we believe that going forward, the democratic world, which believes in value-based politics and value-based economics, which believes in open markets, free markets, will have to work together in trusted and resilient supply chains. And that's what UK and India FTA creates the foundation for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends, for joining us.